In the small town of Oakwood, the legend of the Mirror Man had been whispered about for generations. It was said that he was a malevolent spirit trapped in the realm of mirrors, waiting for an opportunity to cross over into the world of the living. The townspeople were wary of mirrors, especially at midnight on the eve of the winter solstice, a night when the veil between the worlds was said to be thinnest. Jamie, a curious teenager with a sprinkle of skepticism and a dash of daring, had never been one to heed old wives' tales. So, when the fateful night of the winter solstice arrived, Jamie found themselves standing in front of the bathroom mirror, the clock on the wall ticking closer to midnight. As the last chime sounded, Jamie stared into their own reflection, half expecting to see something eerie but fully prepared to scoff at the superstition. But then, it happened. The reflection in the mirror began to warp and twist, as if a dark shadow was moving behind Jamie. Cold fingers of fear crept up Jamie's spine, but they stood their ground, refusing to turn around and face whatever specter lurked behind them. And then, there it was, the figure of a man with hollow eyes and a twisted smile, staring back at Jamie from the mirror. Heart-pounding, Jamie whirled around, only to find the empty bathroom behind them. They turned back to the mirror, but the Mirror Man was gone. Shaken, Jamie tried to convince themselves that it was a trick of the light, a product of an overactive imagination. But the feeling of unease lingered, a ghostly presence that refused to be ignored. In the days that followed, strange occurrences plagued Jamie. Objects moved on their own, whispers echoed through the house when no one was there, and every time Jamie looked into a mirror, they caught a glimpse of the Mirror Man, his reflection edging closer and closer. Panic clawed at Jamie's throat as they realized that the legend of the Mirror Man was more than just a bedtime story. It was a terrifying reality that had invaded their life. Desperate to rid themselves of the malevolent entity, Jamie sought out the wisdom of the townspeople, who whispered of ancient rituals and protective charms. Armed with sage and salt, Jamie attempted to banish the Mirror Man back to where he belonged. But the spirit was strong, feeding on Jamie's fear and growing more powerful with each passing day. Finally, on the eve of the next winter solstice, Jamie stood once more before the mirror, ready to face the Mirror Man head-on. With a steely gaze and a heart filled with determination, Jamie called upon their inner strength and refused to cower in the face of evil. And as the clock struck midnight, a blinding light filled the room, banishing the Mirror Man back into the world of mirrors where he belonged. Exhausted but triumphant, Jamie knew that they had faced their fears and emerged victorious. The legend of the Mirror Man would live on in Oakwood, but Jamie had proven that sometimes, even the most terrifying myths could be conquered with courage and resilience.